How you doing? This is George, son of the guy from Pittsburgh, and this is today's Trump Talk. Well, we got the phony baloney George Will, who says it's more important to stop Donald Trump than to stop Hillary Clinton. Now, this bum has had a column in Newsweek or Time, I can't remember which, forever. And he claims to be a conservative Republican. Well, there's nothing conservative about a Republican who'd rather have a Democrat in as president than a man who says he's a conservative Republican. So it's time to stop listening to George Will, except maybe when he talks about baseball. I got his baseball book in here somewhere. You don't support the nominee, get the hell out of the party. And Trump is going to be the nominee. 39% over Ted Cruz. Now, I would put Ted Cruz in there as one of my cabinet ministers. Or something like that. If Trump wins. Or maybe Ted Cruz and Trump running against the shrew Hillary Clinton. And Jeb Bush, well, the love boat has sailed on him. That's what Crowder said today. He had his chance in the first debate to go after Trump and make it stick. And nobody's paying attention to Jeb Bush because Republicans, Democrats, Independents, they're all sick of the Bush family. Now, I liked Bush 2. I voted for Bush 1 and Bush 2. But I don't trust Jeb Bush. And I wouldn't vote for him as dog catcher in Boca Raton. Maybe I could vote for him as alligator catcher. Because maybe then one of the alligators would eat him and we'd be done with Jeb Bush forever. Okay, and then Hillary. Hillary, that woman, she's always crying about women. She's always crying about how Trump insults women. And the biggest insult in womanhood is Hillary Clinton. Because nobody tells you, like I'm going to tell you, except for maybe Mark Stein, who did a great job on subbing for Rush Limbaugh, that Hillary Clinton, every accuser of her husband, and they were mostly turned out to be true, her husband's philandering. She sicked private detectives on those women. She tried to ruin their reputation. So they were all telling the truth. Bill Clinton is a serial philanderer. Just like Ted Kennedy, was a serial philanderer. You don't hear much about philanderers in the Republican Party. They're married, they're conservative. There's some, I'm sure. But all these guys, oh yeah, I'll be a philanderer and then vote for me anyway. And another thing, our party, we march lockstep. We voted for John McCain. Democrat light. We voted for Mitt Romney. Democrat lighter. Now John McCain's in trouble. He may go down. Thank God for it if he does. That idiot. And what did it get us? Gave us a Democratic Party that gave us Obamacare. And Trump's talked about Obamacare. What a disaster that is for businesses. Deli's having to close down because they can't afford the onerous practices of Obamacare. And that puts people out of work. 60% raises in insurance premiums. Businesses and people can't afford health insurance. And this is supposed to be the Affordable Care Act. Affordable my ass. And another thing, there's a picture out there of Barack Obama. He's at some meeting. I might be in Paris. I'd love to see if it was in Paris. You know what he's doing? He's hearing speeches and he's yawning. And then to top it off, this guy wouldn't have an original thought if it bit him on the ass. He and his wife are having hats turn Congress blue again. They steal a page from Donald Trump. They're trying to get people to buy the hats. Turn Congress blue again. Instead of stealing a page from Donald Trump's Make America Great Again. What a reason we're not great. One big reason is Barack Obama. We were great under Reagan. We were pretty good under Bush 1. And we had disaster hit us under Bush 2, and it wasn't all Bush's fault. Don't ever say it was. He didn't attack the Twin Towers. Unless you believe the conspiratist that was false flag. And he didn't cause an economy meltdown because of convertible debt swaps started on Ronald Reagan. By crooks on Wall Street who sold people houses that they couldn't afford to pay for. And you know who started that stuff? Going into the red line communities and say, hey, Mr. Red Line person, Mr. Black, Latino, Asian, we know you can't possibly afford to pay for this house. We're going to give you one anyway. Sign this paperwork, give you a house. Then when you can't pay it, well, we won't worry about it. We'll worry about that later. We'll get your vote. And then they take the paperwork, the mortgages, put them in a bundle of mortgages like this. Here's your bundle of mortgages. This is Trans-American. I don't know if they do insurance. Here's your bundle of mortgages. They go like that. And they aren't worth the paper they're printed on. And they sell them with Bear Stearns, Morgan Stanley, Lehman Brothers. People in Hong Kong were demonstrating. They lost their life savings. Guys were committing suicide. None of them guys went to jail. And yet the stupid, gullible sheep out there voted for Barack Obama solely on the fact that he was handsome, the most intelligent president ever, which is not true. It was probably Thomas Jefferson. And because he was black. And he was going to hand the basket of plenty, the horn of plenty, to every black in America. Wasn't going to give it to Asians, wasn't going to give it to Latinos, but he was going to give jobs and money to everybody. And yeah, Puerto Rico's handing out big bonuses today. Are they handing that to people? Nah. 150 million or billion or something to government workers. So they think they're going to get bailed out. So, and then there's Mike Huckabee. I like Mike Huckabee a lot. I watched his show every week on Fox. But he says he'll drop out if he isn't one of the top 3 in Iowa. So probably goodbye, Mike. And let's hear it for what Trump's been right on. Because the leftist media talks about Trump. Trump was right on illegal immigrant crime. There's websites all over the place showing rapists, murderers, thieves, muggers. It's like the scene in Blazing Saddles where all the guys sign up to work for Hedley Lamar. They're out there. Lines of them. Crossing the border. 10,000 illegal immigrant kids going into one town across our border. They're not criminals. Well, they are in a sense. They're crossing our border illegally. So there's 10,000 illegal immigrants, criminals right there. Then Trump said American Muslims celebrated on 9/11. And the media had a firestorm. Oh, there were no dancing Muslims. And then they had to retract their BS. When people all over the country proved they were dancing Muslims. Washington Post articles. I'm getting comments from my subscribers. They were dancing in Canada too. So it wasn't just here. Then Trump is right again. Too many Muslims, including U.S. Muslims, are radicalized. And 12 people in San Bernardino are dead today because of radicalized Islam. And then there's the Republican establishment, the crybabies, like George Will and others, who gave us 8 years of Barack Obama. So Trump was right on that. Trump has been right about everything he says. And he said Hillary Clinton was disgusting when she took a bathroom break. I'm not sure what the hell that means, but I read one thing. Washington Post had an article analyzing that comment. You know what they got down to? How disgusting public bathrooms are, and they're right. And hand sanitizer. This is the level of debate the Washington Post comes out of. Hand sanitizer in public bathrooms. And another thing. They post a picture of Ted Cruz's children being trained monkeys. And Cruz is the organ grinder. That's despicable. Although I will say in their defense, Cruz did card out his kids in a political commercial. But it was a funny political commercial. And you know what the kid made fun of? The 7-year-old? He made fun of the Clintons. It was brilliant. You shouldn't have your kids in political commercials, but they do it all the time. How they got kids pimping cars out there. Kids talking about, don't pollute my water. Yeah, kids need money. Their parents need money. They do commercials. But my late friend Charlie used to say, every time he'd see a kid in a commercial, he'd say the phony MFs. Because carting out a little kid. Little kids should be playing. Not being pimped out to sell you a car or a blender or a political campaign. A political nominee. Political campaigner. Whatever you want to call it. You're going to vote for a politician because his kids are on stage? Hell, I saw John McCain's children. I saw Mitt Romney's children. I saw George Bush's children. I saw Barack Obama's children. I didn't vote for Barack Obama. So you tell me, is Trump wrong? And now they're saying that his secret weapon may be Matt Drudge. It sure as hell ain't Fox News who are in the tank for everybody that's against Donald Trump. And they call themselves fair and balanced. I call themselves fair and unbalanced. So, that's how I feel. And the poster behind me is torn. I can't get up there because every chair I got, if I stand it, it'll break. I'm going to have Kathy get up there and tape it up. Damn thing fell over the other net. That thing is heavy. I got to find it. I haven't been able to find an easel to put it on, so it'd be behind me. And if anybody could find one, I'd appreciate it. And there's my monitor. Whoops. There's the charging cord. There's my monitor. I misuse my monitor. And I got there went the whole power strip. Excuse me. Got this big power strip here from Fry's. It's great. But until I attach it to the table, let's see. Hold on, get my finger out of the way. Sorry about that. You see that? I guess you can't. Wait a minute. Oh, there, I got the finger on it. I got my finger. No, that's stone behind me. Well, anyway. Couldn't do what I want to do. Now, sometime the next day or two, I'll grab my tripod out. It's in the living room. Put this thing on a tripod. Put my jacket on, do a video outside if I don't start coughing to death. Or maybe I'll just go in the elevator and do a video in the elevator. Put my zombie sign in the elevator. I got to get a Trump sign printed up or something. Maybe Jerry could have that UFO abducting Hillary Clinton. And then another one when they throw her back. I love his artwork. Hi, Jerry. Merry Christmas to you and Mrs. Jerry. And a $1.99 drone. Who, pretty soon, is going to have a cot set up for him in McDonald's. He won't even drive there anymore. They'll just build a conveyor belt, and the breakfast sandwiches will come to him because he's going to be too fat to go into McDonald's and too fat to get in the car. And they might bring back Mayor McCheese, and he'd be Mayor McCheese. He could wear the suit because he practically lives in McDonald's. He's telling me he's eating steaks, and peas, and venison spaghetti. What the hell is venison spaghetti? I never heard of somebody making venison spaghetti. Of course, he has his deer. His father-in-law's father, they go out, they shoot 500-600 deer. They dig a pit, they take a dump truck, they load ice in it, and the drone eats it raw. He just gets a haunch of deer and a plate of spaghetti. That's his dinner. And yet he always cries he's poor. He's fixing his truck. I said, what truck? When did you get a truck? And he says, oh, I got this 4x4. That's not a truck. That's a body on a truck body. A 4x4 is not a truck. A truck is a truck. I can't expect Drone to know the difference. He's too busy at McDonald's all the time and trying to get the magic crack phone to work. And I said, what are you going to do for Christmas? He said, well, I'll spend it with my family. We might go to see Jerry. I said, hey, you know what you need to do? Put some of that food out and get Sasquatch to come in. Then you could have the Drone Sasquatch Jerry Christmas. We got to do a video on it. We got to see Sasquatch sitting at the table. You know, he's be the honored guest. Bring the whole Sasquatch family in there. I'm digressing from Trump, but Area 51 Drone just cracks me up with his silliness. Every time I get a call from him, it's like static out of a 1950 science fiction movie. They're trying to get a radio call from deep space. You can only hear like that. And occasionally a couple words. He can hear me. I can't hear a damn thing. There's 15 minutes of static and 3 words. He calls me that stupid phone in the car. Says it's tied to his computer. Yeah, that PC Junior must be doing well for him. All right. Have a great Christmas. I'll be back in a while with another video. I got to go feed Orangey. See you later. Bye-bye.